What's up, everybody? Welcome to Creative Minds channel. Today you're hanging out with Rawri, also known as Rawri, and we are chilling with Ichakize. You already know the music, and now it's time for you to get to know the artist.
Time keeps moving like a never-ending stream. Whether you're leaving or dying, it's all just a dream. Happy or sad, my nigga, it's all the same. The world keeps spinning and the clock keeps gleaming. Minutes turn to hours, hours turn to days, days turn to weeks, and weeks turn to ways of coping with the pain, of dealing with the strife. But the world keeps moving and the clock keeps life. C'est la vie, every single day, c'est la vie.
So,
Every single
without
day,
further
c'est la
ado,
vie.
tell us more about your nickname. How did that come about?
Ichakize is a tribal name, you know what I mean, from my, tribe. It's a name I got from my tribe, and it means what God made for himself.
So you have a special connection to your name.
Yeah, I guess.
Does that mean you have a connection to your music as well, like that?
I have a bigger connection with my music than my name, I guess, if that makes sense.
Okay, so when it comes to the music, tell me, what pushed you past that initial fear of starting, making music? Because I know you spoke about how you used to make music back in 2013. So what pushed you to just start?
Hey man, Michael Jackson. I remember as a kid, watching MJ, doing his things. We had the CD of the history tour, the concert and stuff, and every time before going to school, my mom would play this thing, you know what I mean? And by just looking at him, I was like, I want to be like this dude, I want to be this dude.
Yeah.
And from there, I just started small, Yeah.
So if Michael Jackson pushed you to start, what has kept you going?
It's a lot of things, yeah. It's a lot of things. My mom, at the time, may her soul rest in peace. The people around me, and yeah, in short, yeah.
So what encourages you to start writing a new song?
Like I often say, my music is a reflection of what's inside, my mind and my heart. So, like I told you earlier on, it's therapy for me. So wherever I feel, I lace it, so.
Is it something that comes easy?
Yeah, it does. That's where the easy comes from. The nickname, easy comes from that, because it means water. Because I feel like I am able to adapt to, whatever sound is thrown my way. You know what I mean? Everything, whatever it is, when it comes to the music, it just comes easy to me, so.
That's super cool. So then, in your writing process, how does that happen? How do you start? What does that creative process look like for you?
I don't know. It just happens. It's something I can't even describe, I get an idea. It's written thoughts, you know what I mean? It's written thoughts, Whatever I think, I write and lace, if that makes sense,
That's super cool, because I remember when we were talking earlier on, you mentioned that you enjoy your own space.
Yes.
And when you are producing that, you like sitting down on your own, nobody around. So when you do that, is it just the process where you get a beat first and then, okay, this would look good with this kind of cadence? How do you get, when you're in the zone, how does that look?
It depends. Sometimes the lyrics come before the beat. You know what I mean? Hey man. It's hard to describe this, it just happens, I guess, you know what I mean? But yeah.
So let's say I'm a completely new listener. I just heard about you, but I want to know more about you before even getting to the music. How would you describe your sound?
How would I describe my sound? Like I often say, I wouldn't, because music is subjective. You know what I mean? This thing is all about perception. You know, I don't want people to see it, you know, or to hear it or see it, you know, in one angle, in one specific angle, you know what I mean? I want people to, you know, find their own meaning into the work I do, you know what I mean, into my work. So I wouldn't really describe it because it's different to different people, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
So what is it to you? If it's different to other people, you as the artist, what do you usually see?
What do I usually see?
Like in your music?
I'm gonna be honest, you know, like a wise man once said, you know, you can't really see what's in your own eye, you know what I mean? And I usually say I wish I could hear myself, you know, through somebody else's ears, you know what I mean? Because now I just create, you know, it's a piece of me, you know, but I can't really tell, you know, what you hear or somebody else's, you know, hear. So.
Okay, so when it comes to the producing side of it, how did you get to do that? How did you start producing? Because I know you mentioned that it was a progressive thing where you started with the writing first and then learn how to produce. What got you there?
So I'm gonna tell you a little story, yeah?
Please do.
So the crew I was working with back then, you know what I mean? Shout out to them, QCIE. I remember in my early times, in my early days, you know, I'll go to the bros and like, yo, hooks me up with a beat. You know, they will say tomorrow. And tomorrow come hooks me up with a beat tomorrow.
Yeah.
And tomorrow is tomorrow and tomorrow is tomorrow. So it came a day where I got tired. I was like, screw this. You know what I mean? I just stepped on the deck, you know what I mean, sketched my things there, you know what I mean, and made a full song, you know, surprisingly. I made a full song from scratch, fully produced by myself. And from there, I just kept learning, you know what I mean, from the people I've worked with, you know what I mean, and the people that I kept around at that time, you know. But yeah, with the more people I work with, the more I learn, the more I evolve, the more I grow, and yeah.
Would you consider yourself someone that's self-taught?
Yes. Hell yeah.
You seem very proud of that.
Hell yeah. Easy.
It's one thing to want to learn something and to do it yourself. That's a very big achievement. I mean,
True.
That means you really want to do it. Like it's one of your deepest desires. Yeah.
It's my everything. Music is what I live for. If music was a woman, I would marry her.
Say less.
You know.
Okay, so tell me, when it comes to collaborating with people, are you open for collaborations? Do you enjoy them?
Yeah, you know, when it comes to my own work, I'm very picky with who I collaborate with, you know what I mean? When it comes to my own music, you know what I mean? But I am open, you know what I mean? I'm open for collaboration, you know? We just gotta be on the same page, I guess, you know?
How do you approach that if you ever do collaborate with someone? Because I know some people would prefer someone to come into the studio and say, okay, my goal is to one-up this person in terms of my bars and my lyricism.
Yeah.
How do you see it? What's your approach?
If I fucks with what you gotta say, with your mind, especially your mind, you know what I mean? And, you know, cause, hey, music is spiritual, you know what I mean? And if you treat it, you know, like what it is, you know what I mean? I guess me and you will pretty well get along, you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't really like, I'm not too needy or too I don't ask a lot from people, whatever. If we vibe, we vibe. If we get to work, we work. You know what I mean?
So do you just go off whether you like the person's music in general,
Yeah.
or also they vibe?
Yeah. If I like your mind, I gotta like your mind. You know what I mean? Your vibe and your skills above everything. You get what I mean? And your respect for the art too. You know what I mean? Because not everybody who does this thing actually has respect for it. Some people, they do it, you know, as a hobby to pass time. You know what I mean? And I really get discouraged by such. You know what I mean? If I cite, it doesn't matter how skillful you are. You know what I mean? If you don't have the respect, you know, that respect for the art, I don't think we
Can't really vibe that well.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the name still of collaboration and everything, who are your top 5 artists in South Africa that you say you'd like to collaborate with?
In South Africa?
In SA.
Let me see. I would love to work with Ami Faku. I love her so much. Ami Faku. Zulu Mecca. She's very amazing. Hey man. I would say Nasty C. Who else? Pretty Ugly. I'm a huge fan of Pretty Ugly, so I would love to work with Pretty Ugly.
Yeah.
And at last, I would say.
I think you have 2 more to go. You
I have 2 more.
You have 2 more to go.
Oh shit! I got 2 more to
Yeah.
go. So I named Ami Faku. I named Zulu Mecca. I named Pretty Ugly. I named Nasty C.
Yes. Okay. 1 more. Yes.
And also who? Maybe the OG Stogie. You know, just him spitting on my shit. You know, would be a blessing. You know, so Stogie, yeah.
Internationally?
And just there's a lot of people I would
Really?
love to work with. Oh my God, there's a lot of people. If the late Mac was alive, he would be at the top of the list, you know. Rest in peace. You know what I mean? So if the late Mac was alive, he would be at the top of that list. I would say, who? Hey, Cole, man. J. Cole is my GOAT, you know what I mean? J. Cole, man. Cold freezing, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Cole, if Mac was alive, obviously Mac. I also fucks with, you know, rock music, alternative rock music. So I would have loved to collaborate with, you know, a band like, there's this band, it's called New West, you know, or Linkin Park, or Coldplay, you know, Sia. That's like my favorite female vocalist. You know, I mean, I love her, so Sia. Hey, right now names don't come, but yo, it's a lot of people I'd love to work with. Yeah.
So you said that you would also love to collaborate with some rock artists. When it comes to exploring different genres, what is that like for you? Is it, because I imagine it's not only strictly hip hop and you know, so where do you draw inspiration from when it comes to other genres at least?
I love me a good challenge, you know. I love me a good challenge, you know what I mean? And I want to outdo myself, you know, all the time, you know. I want the next project to be better than the previous one. I want yesterday easier to be better than tomorrow. You know, tomorrow is easier to be better than yesterday's easier. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I just be competing with myself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I compete with my previous self, you know what I mean? And I guess that's like one of like my sources of inspiration, and also, hey man, I just love music, you know. I just love music, and I see no walls or ceilings, you know. I see no limit to where I can take it. So I just do what I gotta do, I guess, yeah.
Okay, that's super cool. When it comes to competing with yourself, you know, sometimes you have to be able to look back at your work and say, okay, you know what, I think on this one project I did 1, 2, 3, I could definitely improve on whatever aspects that you think you can improve on. So when you look back at your music now, what do you think? I think I've asked you this. What has changed?
When I look back at my music, oh, it's a lot. It's a lot of things. You know what I mean? Like I told you earlier on, you know, the way I think, the way I view the world, the way I hear, you know, the world. My writing is different, you know what I mean? Everything is different, you know what I mean? I feel like this is something that happens every year, you know what I mean? Because last year me is not this year me, so I don't know what I'm gonna do this year, but this year it's gonna be different. It has to, you know, so.
So out of all your bodies of work, okay, I think I'm gonna structure this one a little bit different. Because you said you only release bodies of work,
yes,
right? And this is, you're very specific about this, that you don't release singles, you release bodies of work.
Yeah.
So out of all your bodies of work, firstly, which one is your favorite?
Ooh, yo, I love all my babies. You know what I mean? It's like asking a parent, you know, who is your favorite, you know?
No, parents do have favorites.
Hey, some don't. Some don't discriminate like that. So for me, you know, I love all my babies, you know. They represent a certain point in my life, you know what I mean? Or they represent something in my life, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't really say I have a favorite. They're all my favorites, you know.
Okay, what if I dug deeper and I said, in terms of production, which one is your favorite?
In terms of production, Before I See Tomorrow. Before I See Tomorrow, you know what I mean? That was like the beginning of like my evolution, or like my third phase of evolution, you know what I mean? Because, you know, hey, from there, you know, I think around that time I was introduced to Dreamville, you know what I mean? I was introduced to Dreamville and, you know, their style of creating, you know what I mean? Like, I just got into that, so it sparked a little something in me, you know what I mean? And, hey man, it forced me to evolve, like, you know, So I would say production-wise, I would say that one, because that was the first time I did what I did there. So, Before I See Tomorrow.
Before I See Tomorrow. So if I was a new listener, off the bat, that's what I'm listening to right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to know, you know, in case we're new here. All right, is there anything that you want your listeners to know about you? What is that one thing that you want to communicate to them? Was it just all in the music?
Again, like I said earlier on, everything I have to say is in my music. But if I was to communicate something, it would probably be, you know, self-love. You get what I mean? Because now personally, you know, I've reached the point, or I've been, you know, in a space where, you know, I mean, hey man, I've searched so much for that thing outside from different people, whatever, this or that, you know what I mean? And one thing I've learned, and it's not easy, is whatever it is, it begins here first. You know, it has to start here. If there's a harmony inside, there will be harmony outside. You get what I mean? So it's like saying I love you to somebody when you do not love yourself. how doesn't make sense, you know what I mean? So self-love, you know what I mean? Yeah, take care of yourself, your mind, your spirit, you get what I mean? God is the way, the answer to everything. Talking about Jesus Christ, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, involve him in everything you do, and everything will be nice, you know? Seek him first, I guess, you know? And go stream the music. So I dropped the project, it's called Tales of Tomorrow. It's part of the Tomorrow franchise, you know? Yeah, man, it's available on SoundCloud. Currently, that's the only place you can get my work, you get what I mean? For some personal reason, you know what I mean? Don't bash me for that, but go on SoundCloud, yeah? What's next for me? Well, you can expect a lot of visual content from me and a lot of surprises, man, you know what I mean? Like a pirate, I go where the wind, you know, blows me, so, you know what's up, yeah.
All right, I think that's what we have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Go stream Ichakize's music on SoundCloud. Let's run those numbers up. And thank you so much for hanging out with Creative Minds channel. That's this was today.
Bro, hey. Bro,
Hey,
I love
shit.
it. What?
Okay, still
Bro, don't scare me like that, bro. Hey,
I know what you need, let me show you the way. What I want, I go get. Hello world, my name is Ichakize, aka Easy. And I make music, you know. Bear with me, cause I'm not so good at the social media thing, you know. But I'm trying, you know, I'm trying. Otherwise, welcome to this odd journey of mine. Let's have fun, you know? Yeah.